Hey Stampers, welcome to Brandy's Cards. So I'm excited. I have a fun project for you out of the holiday catalog. Yes, I did say that. The holiday catalog has been released and it shipped mid-August, and you should have it in your mailbox. If you have made a purchase from Brandy's Cards in the past year, you should have received a catalog from me. And if you didn't, just send me an email, let me know. I'll make sure you get your catalog. If you're new to watching my video today, I've got a very exciting project for you, 10 and 20, and I'll explain what that means here in just a minute. And so just fill out, go to Brandy's Cards and fill out my catalog page, and I'll be more than happy to send you a catalog right away. The catalog is fantastic, and take a look at all of these wonderful projects on the front, and here is one of my favorites. This is one from the Star of Light stamp set and framelits. Right here on the right hand side. It is absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to kind of do a different spin on that framelit and stamp set for you today. Okay, but send me an email. I'd love to earn your business if you've never visited Brandy's Cards before, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. Again, I'm going to show you this beautiful stamp set, Star of Light. Now, one of the reasons that I love this is it's the true reason for the season. The sentiments are fantastic. Become the light of the world. May your season be peaceful, your new year be bright. Star Wonder, Star of Night, just some really great sentiments and scripture, if you will, in here. So I really love this stamp set. The framelits are called the Starlight Thinlits. Now these guys are awesome. So cool. So you can see there's a bunch of different pieces here. I've kind of opened this and started pulling my pieces off. I highly recommend that you put them on a piece of magnetic, a little magnetic card, or maybe if you have another way to organize your framelits. I have just opened these last night, so I haven't had the opportunity to get them all pretty and organized. But I'm excited to film this for you today, 10 and 20. My 10 and 20 videos, I'm hoping to show you how I create 10 cards in 20 minutes. And by doing this, you know, I make thank you notes all the time for my customers. It's one of my favorite things to do, but I'm kind of, you know, behind with time. And so what I like to do is just kind of do a assembly line, if you will. So I like to show my customers and friends exactly how I do that. So right now I've got 10 sheets of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm just folding them in half. That's all I'm doing. You know, you could use a bone folder if you would like to use a bone folder to fold your cards in half. I typically just use my fingers because I feel like I work a lot faster. But again, you certainly don't have to. You can grab your bone folder and you should be good to go. And as far as, you know, I had someone ask me the other day, well, how do you keep it so straight? I honestly just kind of use my fingers. I kind of push the bottom piece of the cardstock against my finger and then fold the top and push it and just kind of make sure that it's all flush and it just works out. Okay, so you can try that. I also have basic black here, and I've got some pre-cut Whisper White. Now I do recommend you're going to want some liquid glue or maybe some snail adhesive. Basically what I'm going to do is I am going to glue my Whisper White piece down. Now because you know, you could certainly stamp this first, but I'm going to go ahead and just glue this piece down because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my star. When I show you how I do that, I'm going to add my star to it. And it's all about placement on this stamps, on this card. So let me just keep adding this on here. And you know what? Did I even show you the card we were making today? No? Well, let me show you. Here is an up-close picture of the card that we're actually making. So look at this beautiful star. This came from this framelit right here. Okay? And so this pretty one in the middle is from our glimmer paper. And this is the framelit that I use for that. And then the flower in the middle, or you could say star in the middle, is from this one. And then this is one of our enamel dots. So I just thought it was really pretty. It's very shiny. So very excited to show you exactly how I did that. All right, so I'm going to keep on gluing this piece down. I've got a Whisper White piece, gluing it on basic black. Now remember, if you are interested in creating this card at home and you're looking for the sizes and the dimensions, it's going to be on brandyscards.com, Brandy with a Y. So you're going to want to visit brandyscards.com, and in the navigational bar, which is across the top of the website, you're going to see a spot that says videos. If you click right there on videos, it's going to bring up all the videos in my playlist and that I've done tutorials on. So that's how you can find the exact project. There are some thumbnail pictures in there as well, so you can see exactly what projects there are and what you might be looking for. And I hope I inspire you to maybe watch another video or two and try maybe a project that you hadn't seen before. All right, so I have, looks like 2 or 3 pieces left here, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these guys down. And again, you could certainly stamp them first, and I typically recommend that. And the reason is because then you've always, if you screw up, well, you've got a second side. But in this instant, I wanted to put my star down first, and then I wanted to stamp and make sure that my stamp went around it. So that's why I'm doing it kind of in a reverse order. And I figure if I make a mistake, then we'll just pull our little star off and we'll just glue another piece of white cardstock down, okay? So you remember there's always a way to fix it. Always, never throw anything away. You can always fix it. All right, so here is, we're well on our way. See how easy that is? So now I've got some of this beautiful foil paper. Stampin' Up! Has got the most beautiful foil paper in gold, silver, and this red. It's absolutely stunning. So we're gonna use the silver today, and we're gonna use the red. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this star. Now, if you notice, this is the more open framelit, and then we have our more delicate designs, which is going to create, you know, all these little holes in this intricate type design. So when you use the intricate design, you're going to want to use the precision base plate, and this is what this guy looks like. The precision base plate, this is a fantastic product, and so you want to make sure that when you're using our you know, the intricate dies, there's about 5, 6 of them in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. You want to use this. Now, you do not want to use the precision base plate with your open framelits, okay? You do those on your normal multi-purpose pad or magnetic platform. But for the intricate ones, you do want your precision base plate. And I'll show you why here in a minute, because that thing rocks. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, this foil paper cuts beautifully with your framelit, so I'm going to go ahead and do 2, and I'm just going to stick that right on there just like that. I layered it twice. I did that just for time's sake so that I could cut a couple more for you at the same time. You know, I like to run it through and then run it back again. It does just kind of make sure that it gets a really great cut in there. Look at that, just popped right out. Those are so pretty, right? So that was pretty easy. Now, I hate to throw scraps out. There's lots of still good red space on there that you can create something down the road. So hang on to that if you in your scrap bin. So we're gonna put it back on here. Let's run it through one more time. We're going through forward, and then we're gonna come through again the other way, back to me, and we'll open it up, take it off, and look, it just pops right out. I just think that is the coolest thing about framelits. Very, very cool. And it was just so easy to do, really. Now, for time's sake, I could have put my little silver ones on there too, but I didn't. So we'll just go ahead and run those guys through. We, you know, they can also go in 2. You can run them through two pieces of paper and pull it off. And my framelit likes to stick to that guy, so we'll pull that off. Pop those little ones out, and then I have to run it through one more time, and then I'm going to show you the precision base plate. So right now I'm just using the multi-purpose pad, and you could certainly use your magnetic platform, but we really don't need the magnetic platform right now because we didn't really stamp anything. We're just cutting just the general shape, the framelit, okay? So let me pull that off there. And there we go. Those guys are punched out, so we are well on our way. Now we have the very intricate framelit, so we're going to go ahead and use that one. And I have to look and see where I set that. Do you see where I set that? Now I knew it didn't disappear on me. Where did it go? Probably went right back in here when I was looking through stuff. Do you guys ever do that? Do you ever start crafting and then all of a sudden you're like, where did it go? or where, you know, and it's just so easy to lose stuff. My husband always laughs at me. He's just like, do you think you could maybe clean off your desk and then you would find stuff? And I'm always like, nah, you know, it's just when you get crafting, it's just great to have everything here with you. And did you see that? It was like right there in front of me. How many of you have done that too? I know you guys have done that too. Everything just sort of disappears. So anyway, we are good to go. We are back in business. We've got our precision base plate. Now, I had to watch the Stampin' Up! Video on this. If you've never used the precision base plate, Stampin' Up! Is a great YouTube channel, and they go through some of our products, such as the die brush and the Big Shot, and just how things work. Well, they also have a tutorial on the precision base plate and why you need to use it. So I highly recommend you watch that. I will have that in my post, so you can click on that and take a look at it as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your multi-purpose platform down, the precision base plate label facing down. Okay, it's a pretty heavy guy. You're going to put that facing down. You're going to put your paper. Then you've got your framelits. Then you're going to take one of your acrylic pads. Okay, and we're going to run this through. And now in the past, these intricate dies, sometimes it's really, really tough because it was hard to poke all the holes out. You know, you take a poker and you start poking the holes, and it can get frustrating after a while. Well, the beauty about this is if you take your die brush, and what I like to do, and there's lots of different ways that you can do it, is I like to just start kind of, see that? And it sort of starts poking the holes right out. And so you just kind of start moving on your paper, and you see all the little pieces falling out. And by doing that, it just punches out all of those little holes, and then you have yourself a beautiful snowflake or star. So it's just these little wiry little bristles, they're pretty strong. They're plastic bristles, and they get in there and they really push all that out, versus taking a poker tool and poking every single one of these little holes out. So I highly recommend this guy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I've got one more of these to go through the Big Shot, and then we're going to put our card together. I'm going to show you exactly how it comes together. All right, so here we're going to pull out our little die brush. See that there? And then just you kind of go back and forth. Your framelit comes out, and just set that aside. And I'm going to put it over here with the other framelits so we don't lose it again. And again, just kind of move back and forth. And there's your star. And as you can see, all the little pieces here, that's from this intricate die. So we're going to set that aside. All right, let's put our card together. I'm going to kind of move my Big Shot back here a minute. So I have stays on. I prefer stays on. I do want to let you know that it will stain your stamp set. Photopolymer, it does stain the photopolymer, but if you stamp it in Versamark first and then you stamp it in Stays On, I have found it doesn't stain it as bad, if you will. But the photopolymer stamps, they do get stained, and I know that I've had lots of emails, how do I keep that from happening? And I don't know that you really can. But by stamping it in a lighter color ink or by stamping it in Versamark first, it does help. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to put, what I like to do is I like to lay out all of my little stars. So we're going to lay out all the red stars, okay, just like this. We're going to lay them all out. Should have 10. There we go. And then once I get them laid out, to kind of keep things moving along a little quicker, I kind of do one thing at a time. So I'm going to put 2 Stampin' Dimensionals behind each star, just like that. And once I get all my Stampin' Dimensionals down, then I'll take the backs off, and then we'll go ahead and add them to our card. All right, I love our Stampin' Up! Stampin' Dimensionals. They rock. Very, very cool. Pretty awesome. All right, so I've got one more to put my Stampin' Dimensionals. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of go through and pull all of the backs off. And then I'm going to show you how I put my card together. And I am so excited to have some cards done early. I love to send my customers thank you notes. Sometimes I'm usually a month behind, but I love to do thank you notes. And this is kind of my way to do the assembly line and try to do mass produce more cards. And so I've had requests on exactly how I do this. And so that's, my husband said, you know, you should show people how you kind of, work through it, the process. So that's why we're doing our 10 and 20 for you today. Now I did notice that on the star there is the top of the star, there's a longer pointy piece. I think it's intended to be pointed down. So, but of course you can make it however you would like. So we're going to start, in most of the examples, the long piece. It doesn't look as pretty towards the top. So it's a very subtle difference. So I wanted to point that out in the event that you started kind of sticking these guys down and went, she didn't tell me. Now you can say, consider yourself warned that there is a difference in size. So I'm just sticking these down just like that. There we go. And I've got just a few more. And of course, you can change up the sentiment. There are so many different things that you could do with this. I'm excited to show you the other card that I did in turquoise with this stamp set. But I don't think I'm going to show you that one today. I think I'm going to post that one here in a couple of days. I'm going to create a video on that one as well. So we're going to set this straight here. And we have one more to go. Perfect. All right. So before we get too far, I'm probably going to go ahead and do my stamping. Again, the only reason that I didn't stamp ahead of time was due to the fact that I wanted to be able to place my sentiment around my star. And if I would have done it, if I would have stamped first, it might not have been perfect on how I would like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp those now. Ooh, that turned out pretty. See? Very pretty. Absolutely love it. And again, there's lots of different sentiments, so you can, of course, you can select a different sentiment. You don't have to use this one. This is just the one that I chose. That's right. I just liked this one. Now, I do like to kind of, really make sure it's inked up well. I like that dark black. So I like to make sure that I have it nice and inked up. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I find that the stays on can kind of dry out it dries out a little bit on your stamp, and sometimes you don't get quite as nice of a stamp. So make sure that if you decide to use stays on, that you take your Stampin' Mist and that you clean your stamp right away. And that'll just ensure that, it stays nice and that you're happy with it, okay? So just make sure you do that. Ooh, that's so pretty. My goodness. I love it. Absolutely, really kind of adds a nice touch. Okay, so we're done with our stamping. And now we just get to finish assembling this fantastic card. I love the sparkles, especially for Christmas and for the holidays. So how I added this is I've got our Stampin' Up! Mini glue dots. And I just honestly, when I do my mini glue dots and I'm doing multiples, to save time, I just find it's easier if you just sort of add 4 or 5 of your stars to your roll, and then you can just kind of pull them off, and I'm just going to stick it right in the middle of my card. See that? It's so shiny, and boy, that is just stunning off of that red. It really is, just pops beautifully off of that red. And so I am just sticking it in the center here. Now, because there is a hole in this star or snowflake, the Stampin' Dimension, or the mini glue dot, does kind of, the adhesive is kind of sticking through there, but that's okay because we're going to add another star to the top of that. So it'll be okay. It's not gonna stick or show through. So you don't have to worry about that. Because we are going to finish it with a pretty embellishment. All right, so we've got a few more to add on to here, just like that. And again, this is just kind of easier for me, but of course you do it how you would like. If you want to do one at a time, that's perfectly fine. So I'm just going to start pulling them off, sticking them in the center of the red. And there's one more there. So it looks like I have 3 more to go. Now I haven't tried to play with the gold. I bet you gold and the gold hues would be just beautiful on this piece as well. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are gonna add their little stars, the little silver stars, they're foil stars. This was just to kind of give it a little pop, okay? Sort of to finish it off, of course, to cover that hole. Sometimes you need to improvise, right? We had a mini glue dot poking through there, so we had to improvise a little bit on that. So I'm just gonna kind of stick all these on here, and then we're gonna stick them onto our card. All right, so let's just go ahead and start doing that. There's really no right or wrong way, quite honestly. Just sticking them to the center of the star, just like that. Perfect. All right. I absolutely love doing holiday projects, and I have to tell you, I am always late on my Christmas cards. So this is very exciting to be making a holiday card in August. Let me just tell you, my husband's like, "You're making our Christmas cards already?" He was pretty impressed. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I got this." I was very excited. All right, one more. There we go, all done with those. So look at that. So we have 10 of those done now. And one thing that I like to do is I love to add these little enamel dots. You certainly don't have to. It's honestly very pretty just the way that it is. I like these enamel dots a lot. These, they come 2 to a pack, and you can get them in both gold and silver. Or I should say, these are kind of, I call them silver, but they're probably kind of a combination between a silver and a clear. But these are just wonderful. I've honestly been using them more than rhinestones lately. So they're really, really great. Now also, while I'm doing this, I do want to point out that, if you decide to purchase the Star of Light stamp set and you are interested in the Starlight framelits, be sure to take advantage of it while the holiday catalog is live. It starts September 1st and it ends, I think, January 3rd or January 4th. The reason that I say that is if you buy the 2 products together, you're going to get a 10% discount. So that does, it all adds up, so that does help. It certainly does help. So make sure that you get those items all together. All right, so now all we have to do is just put a few Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of our cards and stick them on the front, and we are all done. So I'm going to set them all out. Again, this is just kind of the way that I like to do it. You can do it however it works best for you. I get my Stampin' Dimensionals over here. I use both of my hands. I've had people laugh at me in the past, but I just kind of use both hands and start sticking these guys down. Now, because it is a bigger piece, I would recommend probably putting one in the middle, but you certainly don't have to put one in the middle. But I do recommend it. I feel like sometimes, I always worried that my card might sag in the middle, but Stampin' Up! Has fantastic cardstock. It's 80 pounds, so that's really probably not going to happen, but you never know. So especially when you start layering embellishments and things on the top. I just like to be sure. So I'm going to keep on sticking these guys down here. We're just about done with that. And then we're going to add them to the front of our card. And I will have 10 cards done for you guys. So, and I hope that you give it a try. Of course, these were just the colors that I decided to try today. You could certainly switch up your colors, and you could add different embellishments. You certainly don't have to do it the way that I did it. This was just kind of my take on it. And I was really, really excited to share it with you guys. So now I'm just pulling off the backs. Again, I kind of do it in an assembly line fashion. So I pull all the little backs off, get myself kind of ready, because I find that I just move faster if I'm focused on doing one thing at a time versus, several things. And so that's why I do it this way. All right, so we'll just kind of keep working our way through. Got 4 or 5 more of these to do. Just like that. And then we're going to stick them down. I can't wait to show you. Well, I guess you can see the one up there, but it's just so pretty when you put it on the white base. You could even texture the white base. You could add one of our new embossing folders, or you could just add one of the embossing folders that you really like, and it'd be beautiful in the background. All right, so we've got our Whisper white piece. We're just gonna stick this right here on the top of our card. See? Isn't that beautiful? It really pops when you see it actually added to the white base. So I'm gonna bring my pieces all over here to my left so that I can quickly and easily grab them and stick them down. Just like that. There's another one, and there's another. And so I'm just kind of lining it up. I've actually cut the basic black so that it centers perfectly in this rectangle. So there's really not a whole lot of lining up to do. It's just a matter of just making sure it's not cattywamped or anything like that. And just sticking those guys down. And so we've got just a couple more. Oh, I just love that star. So pretty. So pretty. So we've got 3 left. That's it. 3 left. Right like that. And 1 more to go. All right. There you go. That is 10 cards in 20 minutes or 25 minutes. Super excited to show these to you guys. I just love to make assembly line type cards because I will be sending all of these cards out to you guys as thank you notes. Just really appreciate your business, and I know that when you're recreating cards, it's always great to have the example with you. Of course, if you scoot over to brandyscards.com, you're going to find the whole tutorial, the written tutorial there for you as well, so you can you know, kind of visually see it too. And I hope that you try to recreate it. Of course, I really appreciate you stopping by Brandy's Cards. Don't forget, the holiday catalog is out, and the Starlight, Star of Light stamp set and the Starlight framelits are actually in the catalog on page 9. You'll also find the precision base plate and the die brush in there as well. So make sure you take a look at those 2 tools. They are fantastic and definitely a must-have. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope that you have a blessed day.